Welcome to Cooking with Mom. What are we cooking today, Mom?
I thought I'll make dal makhani.
Oh, nice.
And this
Look
is
at
the
that.
main dal for it.
So that's the black urad dal,
Yeah.
right?
That's the main thing. Along with it, we add the rajma.
So how is this different from the white urad dal you usually put when you're seasoning and tempering?
This has the skin kill.
So this is the not hulled, it's the actual. So if you were to peel the skin, it is actually, and split it, it's actually white,
Yeah.
right?
And urad dal itself, it has its own taste. Each dal, each this thing. When you cook it has. So usually the dal makhani is cooked with these.
And then over here you've added some rajma, which is the red kidney bean,
Yeah,
and
green.
the moong dal,
Yeah,
right?
green.
The mung bean, but the whole one, which is green,
Yeah.
not yellow.
Now I
So you soaked it overnight?
yeah,
Okay,
and I cook it all together.
okay. So what's the proportion of
The black
urad
dal will be more.
Okay, so black, it's going to be 3:2.
The other two can be just
2:1:1, no?
no, the
Two
other-
parts of black dal and one part of.
both the dals mixed also. It depends. Just andaz say I do.
So how long are you going to cook this, Mom?
I'll steam it. It will take time to cook.
Okay.
So
Pressure cook it?
yeah,
Okay.
I'm adding one to cook with it. I don't know how
So
pungent.
Mom is adding 1 clove of garlic to the lentils that she's going to pressure cook, just to let that flavor of garlic get infused into the bean.
In fact, I don't like it.
Even though Mom doesn't like garlic. But here's one important thing. Garlic, when it's cooked, loses its pungency and becomes sweet. Its taste completely changes. So what's going to happen is that softer flavor of garlic is going to get infused into the bean or into the lentils, and the pungency will be lost. So it becomes a milder garlic taste.
See, I don't like it.
Mom, so how many steams did you do this for? You pressure cooked it, right?
Yeah.
And this is how it looks. So the color comes from the bean, right? That brown color is just basically when you cook the bean, it breaks down and it gives it that color, right? So how long do you have to pressure cook it for it to actually get to the soft consistency?
About 5 steams
Okay, 5 steams.
at least.
Okay. In the meantime, now that that's done, Mom has chopped these this combination that's essential to all North Indian cooking: the onions, the ginger, and the green chilies. I think what you're going to do is you're going to blend it, right?
I am going to chop it off.
Okay, so
Chopper, not
you're going to put
blend
it in a chopper. Okay, so it's going to be finely chopped using an electric chopper, and that's why Mom has left bigger chunks. Now she's put the tomatoes in bigger chunks as well, because I think she's going to put that in the chopper as well, and that makes the meal prep really easy because we're using the chopper. So you don't want those bigger pieces, and because of that, Mom uses the electric chopper. So this is how it looks after about a minute in the electric chopper.
No, I'll do it even little
You're gonna
more
do it a little
finer,
more?
yeah.
Okay, so it needs to be a little more fine so that when you put it in the oil, the onions just melt away. Alright, so this is dal makhani, right? So the most important ingredient besides the dal is
Makhan.
makhan. What is makhan? Can you explain to
Butter.
us? So, does Krishna like makhan or ghee or both?
Makhan.
Makhan is butter, vennai.
Is known as Makhani chor.
Makhan chor. And then why is ghee so important for us?
Ghee is clarified butter. That butter is melted and made into ghee.
Okay, so when you're makhan chor, you could also be ghee ka chor, no?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
But makhan is before you
how
make
much? Wow, you added ghee and you added butter. Okay, so now once the ghee butter mixture starts to heat up a little bit, you can see it bubble. Mom starts adding the whole garam masala spices. So she added a couple of dried bay leaves, 3 pieces of cinnamon bark. She's going to add green and black cardamom, and then some mace and cloves, and of course the dhania. So mom is actually going to
just pound it little
use
bit.
a mortar and pestle and pound it the traditional way.
The whole dalchini.
Dalchini is
Dalchini elaichi.
Cardamom is elaichi.
See, the quantity I'm making is not too much, so I don't want to
Make it overly spicy.
Yeah,
right?
no, overpowering the
Yeah.
spices.
So there's some black pepper in there as well, right?
Yeah, one.
Cloves, black pepper. I put down the garam masala recipe in a previous episode. This is what the whole spices
This is
look
the
like.
jeera.
You see coriander seed, you see cumin seed, you see black cardamom, green cardamom, you see bay leaves, you see some other stuff. Cloves, mom just added all of it.
Everything is now there, whatever.
Cinnamon. Usually, because Sri Lankan cinnamon is more expensive, we substituted with Chinese cinnamon. And Chinese cinnamon goes well in Indian cooking because we are looking for that spicier component in the cinnamon bark. We aren't necessarily looking for that natural sweetness that comes from the Ceylonese cinnamon. But then it helps. The natural sweetness is, that chili did not
Grind.
grind.
Well.
I don't know what it is with the smell of onions and butter now. As soon as that mixture of the onions, ginger and green chilies hits the butter, it could be any cuisine, but this combination of the three, when you put it in butter, it only smells of one thing. It smells of North Indian food. I don't know why, because the components individually could be used in any cuisine. It could be maybe it's the fact that we've already added the spices and then we add the onions and the green chili and ginger. This smell is distinctively Indian food. Can you describe the smell to us?
Oh, it's so mouth-watering.
When mom made her rajma masala, which was very similar, it's exactly the same smell. And it's the combination of fragrances, the fresh ginger, the spice of the green chili, the onions. The onions are not as pungent, but still there's a pungency from the onions. And then there's the richness from the fat of the ghee and the butter, which soaks in all the aromatics from the spices. Those 5 spices or 10 spices we've added that are in the garam masala all come together. So, do you have to let this cook for some time so the tomatoes release their water?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so next you're going to add half a teaspoon of turmeric, the most characteristic ingredient of Indian food. And then half a teaspoon of
I added very little because ginger and
red chili,
yeah, very little because I have already added
ginger and green chili.
green chili and the quantity is very little.
Okay, okay.
So I don't want it to be spicy.
Okay. And then salt. Mom's measuring the amount of salt to add by eye. So that's... Oh, you added less salt. This is half a tablespoon of salt. Not even. Maybe 1 heaped teaspoon of salt is what Mom added. Or 1.5 teaspoons. Smells great. So now as soon as Mom adds the salt, it's going to start cooking. She reduced the flame, and it'll on its own extract all the liquids from the onions and the tomatoes and stuff, because salt does that. So we're going to let that water extraction process come out, and the extracted water will cook the vegetables from the outside and then evaporate eventually. The steam will evaporate. So we're going to let that cook. In the process, Mom's going to add some other stuff. I have no idea what. Let's wait and see.
Little powder.
Okay, so Mom's going to add a little bit of
This
amchur
won't be
powder.
like rajma overpowering the red.
But Ma, dal makhani is usually a little delicate, right?
Yeah. This is amchur to give the tang of it.
Okay. So the kind of dal makhani we're making here is almost like a mix between... I mean, this is genuine dal makhani because the different lentils and the different beans are what go into dal makhani. But there's a different recipe called dal bukhara, which was popularized by the restaurant called Bukhara at the Mayura Sheraton in Delhi. So this is the hotel where all international dignitaries are hosted when they come to visit the Prime Minister and President of India.
This is little of dhania powder.
So you're adding some dhania powder. What did you add previously? Amchur. What was the dark one? Garam masala powder?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess it was an improvised dish which has become an Indian staple. You find it in all North Indian restaurants, and they call it Dal Bukhara after the city in Central Asia in Uzbekistan. Most Indians don't know that. In fact, there's a trend in Indian restaurants for Indian restaurants to be named after cities on the ancient Silk Route. So you've got restaurants named Peshawari, you've got restaurants named Bukhara, restaurants named Samarkand, Kandahar. And it makes sense because a lot of these cooking techniques came in from Central Asia with the Islamic invasions. The spices are inherent to India, and it's genuinely Indian cooking, but then a lot of the techniques of using the tandoor, of making the breads, of all of Central Asia, Afghanistan, Uzbekistan. If you actually go to these regions, the food is nothing like this. So which is why I say it's genuinely Indian. But it's an evolution, it's a melding of what came in from Central Asia with the during the last 1,000 years with the Islamic invasions and the waves of trade and continuous back and forth, as well as the melding with the traditional Indian spices. So it's a real coming together of sorts. Look at this. So after Mom added the salt and cooked it for a while, this has become almost a homogeneous mixture where Mom didn't add any water. Did you add any water? No. But look at it. It's become a paste, almost like a paste. So you don't need to go to your grocery store and buy those ready-made pastes or mixes. You could just make it at home. And this is again part of the reason why I have an argument against vegetable stock, because vegetable stock is made using your vegetables. So just use your vegetables and make a stock. Same way, you don't need to buy a curry paste, make your curry paste. This is essentially the curry paste you buy in the store, except it's using the freshest ingredients. You saw it. So what are you going to do now, Mom?
I'll add it to this and I'll put it together.
Are you going to pressure cook it again? Or?
Yeah, one steam or two.
Oh wow, this is interesting. I've never seen this before. So, Mom's adding the paste that she just made, the curry paste that you would buy in the store or you would cook at home, like how we just did. She's adding it to the mixture of the lentils that were previously pressure cooked, and now she's going to pressure cook it some more. Are you going to pressure cook it some more? Okay. So she's adding a little extra water to just get the most from there. And also you need a little water to pressure cook it. Okay. She's going to mix it up.
You can see the black lentils, it gives a black color to the...
And then how long do you steam it for?
Just 2 steams.
2 steams.
15-20 minutes, less than 20 minutes.
Okay, so it's just 2 steams, about 20 minutes to get all those flavors that you added into the dal. And then that's it, or do you add some more?
That's it.
Okay.
You add the cream in
You
the
add
end.
some cream at the end. So this is the Maki dal or home style dal makhani, right?
No, that's it.
Okay. Alright. So we'll be back. So this is how the dal makhani looks. After how long did you steam it?
You put it on low flame.
Wow, it smells so good. So that's how the natural smoky flavor comes. Wow, look at that. And then Mom adds a little bit of cream. Oh, nice. Beautiful picture. So that's dal makhani. Mom added a little bit of yogurt to thicken it. So, I should have taken a picture before the yogurt because it looked prettier. You know what? It looks nice.